Okay, first and foremost, before even the introduction, you see the apparently in the title? That's there because I wasn't at FWA. This isn't a review or a how did the con go sort of video, so please don't use this video as an excuse to make claims about FWA. This video is going off of things I saw on Twitter, and as we all know, Twitter is the most reliable source of info about conventions. I kinda wanna shoot the shit and talk about some things I saw, both silly and some things that should kinda be talked about. So with that out of the way, let's start the video. Heyo everyone, Misha B. Barkin here. FWA, or Furry Weekend Atlanta, happened last week, and with over 10,000 attendees, it's cemented itself as one of the bigger cons this year. Naturally, with that many people, there's gonna be a lot of posts and a lot of happenings, some of which I felt like it'd be fun to talk about this week. Now again, I'm not reviewing the con or saying if it was good or bad. The con as a whole seemed to be an enjoyable experience for almost anyone who attended, minus one major problem that we'll talk about in a sec. So this isn't a did the con flop type of video. Please listen to the people who actually went to the con before making your own opinions and conclusions about FWA. Me personally, 10,000 furries is a bit too much for my shy self, but for others, they might flourish in such big settings. To each their own. So without further ado, let's dive on in. Starting off strong with the biggest and an actual complaint that affected almost everyone there, the elevators. These were a mess this con, with no one making sure the elevators were flowing smoothly, so they kept getting backed up, cramped, and many other issues, such as overcrowding to the point where the elevators would apparently drop half a floor sometimes. On top of that, many people with physical disabilities just wanting to get back to their rooms were stuck standing for long periods of time, the whole time in pain, some of them even saying the able-bodied full-suiters would cut them off and take the elevator before them, which, don't do that. Now, I don't have a solid solution to this problem as I've only been to exactly one convention, and that venue had a whopping 2 floors, so I just took the stairs every time. And for anyone who might be saying to yourself, just take the stairs, that's not really a viable option considering how big the venue is. Now sure, from floor 4 to 5 or something, yeah, but if you're going down to the main lobby, then going down a bunch of flights of stairs, especially in a full suit, isn't really viable. I also think that maybe having a separate elevator for anyone with a disability might also be a good idea to ensure those who need to get back to their rooms to rest or recuperate can, which again goes back to there probably should have been con staff or somebody seeing over the elevators at the very least. This is the last serious issue we'll be discussing in this video, but I feel like it's important as it's something that can and does happen at other cons. Somebody or some people were using a bunch of counterfeit money that looked realistic on the front, but the back said it was prop money and not legal tender. Hundreds, 20s, and I think even 10s and 5s were found to be counterfeit all throughout the den. Now of course this seems stupid obvious to notice, but again, this was a big con with a bunch of people moving through the dealer's den, so it's fairly easy to not notice the slight differences in a bill if you're trying to hurry through transactions and such. Someone also apparently got in late one night and stole stuff from the dealer's den, which luckily they got him on camera, so hopefully further action is taken against this person. What's funny is they got in after hours, even when dealers weren't allowed in, and stole. Like, how does that even happen? You tell the dealers they can't come back in to grab something of theirs, meanwhile somebody's able to sneak in? So the obvious solution to this is cameras. That's how we know who stole in this case, and that's how we'll know who steals in many cases. Secondly, it might be a good idea to not have anything small and easy to pocket at the edge of your table. Now of course in some situations this is unfortunately unpreventable, and with pins and stickers, people may want to take a closer look, so this one's a bit of a catch-22. In terms of the money, always double check, especially bigger bills. 1s and 5s you can def be okay if those slip, but getting a fake 100 is a lot of money to be out because someone used a fake one. They also make pins that you can use to scribble onto bills to double check, so picking up one of those might be a good idea. Okay, time for some silly moments. Did I mention that FWA had some celebrity appearances? Cause it did. Now we've all seen Mr. Wolf, Legoshi, and Death attending cons, but there were some new faces this year. One of them being Bandit from Bluey. He was very popular. In all honesty, this suit is so cute. The maker did a wonderful job on making Bandit come to life, and so many people were so happy to see such a wonderful father figure in physical form. Pivoting immediately from that was the giant cheese grater. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say about this one. Last but not least is probably the least expected one. Go ahead, think of any character. Anyone you'd expect to see at a It's Lord Farquaad. What? And he pulls it off too, like this is an amazing cosplay. And Lord Farquaad says trans rights. Our favorite trans icon, Lord Farquaad, everybody. Dio was also there. Him and our Lord had a bit of a face-off. There are probably other super cool characters and cosplays I'm forgetting about, but it's always super cool to see people show up to these cons dressed as characters we're all familiar with, whether it be a meme or a genuine character that everyone loves. Well, my dad saw the post I made about him and he's now coming to FWA. I repeat, my biological father is coming to FWA. LMAO, he knows all about the fandom. This is fine. My only concern is he's gonna fuck someone and they get to make the I fuck your dad jokes for the rest of my life. Father has arrived. I repeat, Papa Dingo has entered the premises. Which one of you godless thoughts blew my dad? So, yeah, this was a wild 4 tweets, and I can't imagine being this person. Like, imagine your dad finding out about the community, deciding to come with you to a con, and scoring some head from someone who could very well be your friend. He refuses to tell who it was too, so it's up to speculation on who did it. Now, of course, I'm not dogging on NSFW stuff happening. That's all fine and good, and very much gonna happen at a con. It's just... your dad? Anyway, short segment. Just wanted to throw this in because it was really funny. Next topic. Let's get something clear. Nerd culture kinda smells. I've been to a few Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments during my time playing the game, and let me tell you, there is a reason the hygiene rule was added in the official rules. Duelists really gotta start using 3 copies of Speed Stick. Secret tech, but really powerful. But we're not here to talk about the heart of the cards, we're here to talk about furries, which... arguably smells about the same sometimes. Seriously, some of you gotta shower more, especially if you're gonna be wearing a shag carpet for hours on end. Apparently the smell at FWA at certain points was just atrocious, and just being cramped in the elevators on top of it with the long wait times, yeesh. Laughing at people at FWA complaining about musky folks, I'm out here hanging with crusties like fuck societies need to be completely clean and odorless. I wanna smell my friends when they walk in the front door. Wow, yeesh, found the source of the smell at least. Look, I get it. I've suited for long periods of time as well, and towards the end things are gonna get a little bit smelly, but if you start out smelly, that's a big issue. 621 rule, everybody, please follow it. Not to mention there's multiple steps you can take to keep your hygiene to an acceptable level, such as keeping a small stick of deodorant with you, dipping into the headless lounge to cool off for a sec, or if it's really bad, a quick shower back in your hotel wouldn't hurt. Even before the con, if you want to take more extreme precautions, trimming body hair helps for some. Body hair is what a lot of the odor clings onto, so having less of it naturally means less stench. Still use deodorant though, please. Speaking of cleaning, you've got to also make sure your suit is clean. There's many tutorials online on how to keep suits smelling and looking new, and if you message your maker, odds are they'll tell you the best way to clean it. If you're at a con and you don't have adequate cleaning supplies, at the very least, give your suit a quick spritz of fursuit spray. It's better than nothing. Lastly, the mistake I made at the con I went to was only bringing 1 Under Armour top. If you're gonna wear Under Armour, you've got to bring a couple of them. God, by day 2, I had to dip into the headless lounge bathroom and ditch the Under Armour because it smelled atrocious. So make sure to bring multiple pairs of Under Armour if you're choosing to go that route. It's no different than underwear. Last but not least on the docket, everyone's favorite raccoon Diesel was there. Only it wasn't Diesel the character, no, he was Tex Rex, the German Shepherd. Twitch to Whoop has a good thread showing the similarities between the 2 accounts when out of suit stuff was posted. Link is in the description below. In case you don't know who Diesel is, he's a Texas furry who is very notorious in his racist and transphobic views. He's also the co-star in the inflates you making you big and round meme you see everywhere in this community. I have a whole video on him, but it's a bit old, so it might be outdated a little bit. It's hilarious because he keeps on posting like we don't all collectively know it's him. Like, come on, dude. Why do you feel the need to hide behind a different persona? Is it because you're embarrassed to be such a hateful person, so you try and hide that to go to cons? And on that note, why even go? No one there likes you, and considering your constant screeching about the left and LGBTQ people, you don't like us either. So why constantly try to go to these conventions? Is it some sort of weird power move like, ooh, look at me, you guys hate me so much because here I am? Because all jokes aside, that's really sad, man. Anyways, yeah, if you see Tex Rex Shep anywhere, avoid at all costs. Don't give him attention, don't tease him, that's what he wants. Just leave him there in his own self-pity like the sad, lonely individual that he is. So yeah, FWA. Whew, what a con. Now obviously Twitter only hyperfixates on the bad of things. There were many posts about how much people love the cons, and how they had the time of their lives. Again, to reiterate, this isn't a this con sucked and here's why sort of video. I just wanted to shoot the shit as well as give a few warnings on some events and people at these cons. So what did we learn today? Furry cons are a wonderful place to meet many faces, some famous. That being said, be sure to keep track of your things, practice good hygienes, avoid the big and round shepherd, and lastly, if your dad has any amount of riz, do not take him to a furry con. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!